Be in the know with unlimited access to IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. Our in-depth coverage of all things business means you'll always be completely in the know. Subscribe for just $1 a week. Get started now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. The Indiana Farm Bureau has released its annual Thanksgiving Market Basket Survey, which says a Thanksgiving dinner for 10 people in Indiana this year will cost an average of $53.62, up just 0.6% from last year, and about 3% lower than the average U.S. price. In Indiana, a 16-pound turkey is expected to cost about $21.09, which is about 2% less than the national average. But Joseph Balagtas, director of the Center for Food Demand Analysis and Sustainability at Purdue University, says nationally, average retail turkey prices are estimated to rise.
Simple economics would suggest that a reduction in the turkey supply would cause turkey prices to rise. And indeed, data from the USDA shows that wholesale turkey prices are up 75% this year. Some analysis from my colleagues at the Center for Food Demand at Purdue suggests that average retail prices, the prices that consumers pay, are going to be up 25% this year. Retailers appear to be in tune to consumers' financial struggles and are cutting retail prices to lure consumers into the store. Major retailers across the country are selling turkeys for less than $1 a pound, $14 or $15 for a 16-pound turkey.
The Farm Bureau's Thanksgiving Market Basket Survey was conducted in early November by volunteer shoppers who collected prices on specific food items from one of their local grocery stores. The total market basket price includes a 16-pound turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, rolls, peas, a carrot and celery veggie tray, whole milk, cranberries, whipping cream, ingredients for pumpkin pie, and miscellaneous baking items. Eli Lilly and Company plans to open a new Lilly Gateway Labs site in Philadelphia next year, part of a broader effort to help foster biotech startups and innovations. Lilly said biotech ventures based at the site will have access to dedicated, fully equipped wet lab facilities alongside strategic scientific engagement. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise@ibj.com to learn more.
A new 10,000 square foot supermarket is now open, giving South Bend's west side a long-anticipated neighborhood anchor that city officials said will improve access to fresh food and reinforce ongoing revitalization efforts along the corridor. More Mex Supermercado, developed by owners Miguel Anzurez and Ariana Rodriguez Romero, recently celebrated its ribbon cutting after 7 years of planning and construction. South Bend Mayor James Mueller.
This is a first-class supermarket for our city, and it's a great development too. It fits seamlessly into the city on two major corridors, Olive and Western, and it's in a part of town that hasn't seen this type of investment as much as some other areas. There's been a lot of talk about food access in the past several weeks, and this is truly a wonderful resource here in a part of town that needs access to fresh produce and high quality products. So we commend everyone who is able to make this possible. These projects aren't easy to do, and we just love the determination and the belief in South Bend to make this project happen.
The $2 million project, which includes 2 additional commercial spaces and at least 25 jobs, was built on a former city-owned parcel sold to the developers for $1,000 under a redevelopment agreement requiring a minimum $1 million investment. Shoe Station Group Foundation, the charitable arm of Evansville-based Shoe Carnival, is committing $1 million over 3 years to support U.S. footwear employees and their families. The commitment to Massachusetts-based nonprofit 210 Footwear Foundation includes $100,000 to establish the Shoe Station Endowed Scholarship, which will provide up to $4,000 to help recipients pursue higher education. The remaining $900,000, according to Shoe Carnival, will fund emergency relief grants to help footwear families recovering from natural disasters. The commitment will be delivered in annual contributions from 2026 through 2028. The president of the Fort Wayne Common Council on Tuesday announced his resignation as leader of the governing body. Our partners at WPTA TV report Republican Russ Yell cited scheduling conflicts that would cause him to miss several meetings during the last 2 months of his term. The council unanimously approved Yell's recommendation that Democratic councilor Jeff Paddock take over as interim council president for the next 2 months. Paddock told reporters the move perfectly represents the council's bipartisan nature.
I've always felt that the Republican majority party has always treated us in the Democratic minority side very well. I've mentioned this at city council meetings in the past that we don't repeat the things that we see in Washington or even in Indianapolis. I think they could take a lesson, frankly, from the city of Fort Wayne, Indiana, that we know how to work together.
The council will vote on a new president in January. Lake City Bank CEO David Finley is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now on the IBJ Media app or your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
You know, the economy and the market are in a hairy place these days. It's up a lot, it's down a lot, it's sideways, and it seems on the hour there's breaking news coming out of all areas of the country. How do you get your head around that? How do you not go crazy in the process? I'm Peter Dunn. You may know me as Pete the Planner, IBJ columnist, and my job for years has been to help you understand your financial life better in context with everything else going on. So, what am I encouraging you to do? Well, listen to the Pete the Planner Show. Yeah, it's a podcast. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts, or simply listen at ibjpodcasts.com.
Your commute just got smarter. Turn drive time into growth time. The IBJ Media Podcast Network gives you front row access to leaders shaping Indiana's economy, culture, and future. No filler, just smart, relevant, local storytelling you won't get anywhere else. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.